Oh my god.
What is dirtier than people realize?
The holes in bowling balls. The shoes are disinfected after each use, but no one disinfects those holes. I'm a germaphobe who very briefly worked at a bowling alley, sprayed a large amount of disinfectant in all the holes in the balls one day, and the liquid that dripped back out of each ball was either yellow or brown. Please stop. Hey, all microbiology research aid here to remind you of some good news before we go full freak out about all this. Just because something has a lot of bacteria doesn't mean it's bad for you. In fact, the majority of bacteria, by far, about 99%, doesn't harm us at all. A lot of it has actually been shown to help us. A normal human adult has approximately one non-harmful bacterial cell in their body for each human one, and that's a fine thing. Our microbiota is incredibly diverse, and it's this diversity that helps our immune system develop further. Even seemingly unrelated things like allergies, metabolism, and tolerance to specific foods can be traced back to a healthy balance of bacteria within your body. While I'm not saying to go around licking door handles, keep in mind that an abundance of sterility can be harmful in some ways too. A little dirt can help us. Old MacUp. Bacteria thrives in such environments. TV remote controls in hotel rooms. It's touched by almost every person who has stayed in the hotel room. Yet, it is rarely, if ever, cleaned by staff. Restaurant menus. I used to work at a Mexican restaurant and they would serve chips and salsa to every table right away. Those menus would get salsa all over them. That and the sugar and salt from the margaritas. Dumbbells and barbells at the gym. I clean those at the gym where I work, and you would gag at the amount of nastiness that comes off on the rags. The bottom of a purse, set in the floor of the car, on the floor, in the child seat of a shopping cart, and then come home and set it on the kitchen table. Doctors' neckties. The rest of their clothes get washed. The white coats are swapped each day. They pump their hands full of sanitizing foam as they enter and exit a room, but that necktie hasn't seen detergent in years. Ice in food service. Any sort of fountain machine too. The store I used to work out cleaned the nozzles 2 times daily, and it still spewed out some of the nastiest shit I've ever seen. Never again. An episode of Mythbusters revealed that air dryers are actually worse than paper towels, so I guess that could be one. Shoes. I sometimes hear things on the internet, like barefoot is so disgusting you bring all the dirt and piss home, and this goes for shoes, especially when you walk around the house in them. I saw a meme that read we never wash belts, but they're the first thing we touch after we wipe our butts. That meme haunts me. I'm gonna start walking to the sink pants down around ankles to assert my superior alpha hygiene. Kitchen sponges. Those things are worse than toilets. I cut my sponges in half after seeing a post on here that basically said, how often do you actually need the entire surface of a sponge? I've never regretted having half sponges, and because a pack lasts twice as long, I throw them away more often and never have stinky sponges. Handrails and door knobs, and schnitzel with noodles, computer keyboards and wedding band rings. These are a few of my dirtiest things. Everything. Literally. Money, your phone, your steering wheel, shopping carts. People are always freaking out about a specific surface when their phone is probably the dirtiest thing they touch. I don't bother worrying. It's why we have robust immune systems. Toilet flush lever. The only time you ever touch it is after using the toilet and before washing your hands. I flush public ones with my foot, so while I'm in the clear I'm definitely making it worse for all of you. Kitchen or bathroom vents. You don't want to know how grimy those are. Your kitchen ones are especially bad if you love to deep fry or pan fry. Grease is really nasty. Coins. Work in retail, and after emptying a register you really need to wash your hands. They will be so nasty. The bathroom sink faucet. Unless you use a paper to turn it off, you're retouching the same surface that dirty hands have been on. The pin pads and touch screens at self-checkouts. Gas pump handles. Most people's hands are dirty and they do an extended handshake with those things. Then you do the same. Then you touch your door handle, steering wheel, etc. The underside of school desks. We had to wipe tips around the school for a project, while my group did the main stair rails, toilet seats and weight room equipment. We got some mild bacteria on the toilet seat and hardly anything anywhere else. My friend chose underneath a desk and mold started to grow after a few days alone in their observation desk. I don't know, I guess it makes sense. It's just I always thought that the main stair rails would be worse. Apparently nails. I just got back from the hospital because I got a staph infection from being scratched by a human nail. Soda and tea fountain machines at restaurants. A lot of places straight up don't clean them. Mold. Lots of mold. Restaurant silverware. I work in one, and it's so gross. They wash them in beans in mass, but all the food that was on the silverware beforehand is just added to this concoction of soap and nasty water. I've had to put them away after, and sometimes I'll see a stray carrot or lettuce piece in the mass of forks and knives and it just kills me a little inside. It's so disgusting. Wiping the bottle cap with your hand before drinking because someone else drank from it. Your hand is probably dirtier than their mouth, but that dirt is your dirt, so it's okay. Contact lenses. I just learned that when you take them out for the night you are supposed to wash them. You put solution in your hand and kind of swirl it with the tip of your finger to clean it off. Bacteria can get on them and give you an infection, scratch your eye, etc. So much gunk can build up on them over time. Shower loofahs. When was the last time you changed/cleaned it? As well, and being in a humid damp environment 24/7. Can openers. They almost never get washed, and bits of food get on them as you open various cans. They're a smorgasbord of bacteria. Entertainment. Behind the bubbly veil lies some dark tactics to keep you addicted. You know how fast food marketing has gotten so bad that they study the psychological impacts of certain colors to sell you food. It's worse with Hollywood in a marketing sense, and the political ties to Hollywood are disgusting. Airplanes. And you can guess the obvious from the other passengers, your fold down table, and the chair you sit in. The lesser thought about things are the onboard water. I heard the water tank is filled very near where the septic is drained. Also, those ice cube trays rarely get a proper washing. Not a huge surprise why so many people get sick when they travel. Casino chips. I'm a poker dealer, and the amount of people that touch chips over the course of a day is large. I don't remember the last time the tournament chips were cleaned/we got new ones. Cash chips are even worse because they are used in the pit as well, so they pass through even more hands. I don't know how often they are cleaned, but from the amount they stick together, it's not often at all.